Do I get that gift? Is that my present?
That's the giveaway? No shit. Wow. Let's check out this baby. Where do we, is this compliments of rock title? Huh? We're not getting rid of it. We're. All right. I don't. Yeah. The girls are feeling a little. I don't know. All right, gang. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Thanks for being here. If you didn't sign the early bird sheet, it's too late. So you don't get a shot at this. We're upgrading here. Rock Title is stepping up here with a bunch of stuff here. So here, when you can hold on to this here. So and I sent you a picture of it. Yeah, I know. They leave that there. All right, gang. Good morning. How's the food? Do we like that butcher box? Is that what it is? Box to butcher. Wow, very nice, very nice. Cute little cookies. Little cookies. All right, gang. Before we get to the meeting, we've been on this panel kick lately. It just turned out that way with the scheduling. We had who did we have? We had the mothers. We had the broker panel. We had a top producer panel, and today we have a team leader panel. And the reason we do this one is that a lot of you, after a little bit, get maybe in a rut, not sure what you want to do, and you always come to me and Wendy, hey, Tim, should I join a team? Hey, Wen, what do you think about a team? And that's the purpose of today, to meet with Damon, meet with David, meet with Haya. And Mary couldn't be here. And Mary's Placencia, she had mom's not feeling well. So she's here in spirit. She couldn't make it. But before we get to that, we want to get to the real important stuff. Anyone see this play the other night? Anybody know what it is? This was such an incredibly planned block of the puck, right, Suze? Watch how this guy took his time, said, I think they're going to shoot it over here, and I'm going to block it with my ankle.
Keishan can really unload it. Stankovic's pass is on the tee.
Didn't even see it, right?
And this shot goes through. Marner's going to try and block it. Actually, he's trying to get out of the way of it, and it ends up hitting him in the knee, and it's a good thing it does, because this puck is labeled pass hard on the block.
So he jumped to get out of the way, and he blocked the puck, and we won the game. So go figure, right? So go figure, Those of you that haven't gone to the T-Mobile, like for $5, no, it's free. Is it $5? It's $5. A couple of you went the first game and thought it was incredible. So I think it's again tonight.
Tonight I go.
It is tonight. Yeah. Not a girl. All right, Steph. But you have to wear a Golden Knight something, correct? I think a T-shirt or whatever it might be. But that's from Twitter. All right, gang. Let's get back to what the heck we're doing here. So, so a lot of stuff to get to. That's our panel for today. Right after this class, we'll probably finish up about 11:15, 10 to 11, grab something to eat. And for those of you that really don't know the ins and outs of a settlement statement, you really should stay for Jen's class. If you're new, we're going to make you stay. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to make you stay. But we'd love you to stay, okay? Because even me, after 19 years, I look at these settlement statements, it gets a little hokey. It really does. I don't know about Wen or Damon or you guys, maybe you're better at this than I am. But sometimes the credit here, the debit there, and seller credit, and then if I don't know it, I can't explain it to my buyer. Okay? And then we just say, call Jen Wolf, and she'll explain it, make it easy here, So try to stay for that class. I think you'll get a lot out of it, okay? Anybody want to give blood today? Okay, I'm going to give blood. I have that, I tease my family. I have what I call that supersonic blood, the blood where they want to double. Is it A or O? See, I don't even know what it is. O positive? Yeah, I got that blood. So they always beat me up for 2 of them. So when I drag myself out of the trailer. But if you want to do this today, the van will be out there with a big bus for a couple hours. So if you're into that, I think they're giving away. Are they giving us anything? Oh, yeah. As a thank you to all the donors, you'll receive a $15 rewards gift card to who, I don't know. But, and a needle in the arm. No. But you do get to pick the color of the tape you want. You know, you want blue, gold, red. Okay, so that's right. So this is in the handout. I'm not going to read any of this, but that's a little bit about Haya, a little bit about Dave, a little bit about Anna Mary, a little bit about Damon. So you guys can read that, take this with you if you want to find out more about them or talk to them in the hallways. We have this thing that just came out called Zone Pro. It didn't. Did it replace Zone, Suze? Is that how we're saying? It's going to replace Zone. And all I could say is we've all been playing with it, but this is what you guys, we get now when you log in. Pretty cool, right? Has all this kind of stuff. And this is the new one. Some people said, Tim, it's too busy. I kind of like it. Oh, shit, what'd I do? Okay.
Is it user-friendly?
You'll find out as you use it. You need to use it to find out if it's user-friendly, okay? But this is your personal account. Like your production is in here. Your license information is in here. Your anniversary date is in here. Your 50 or $100 a month information is in here. So all of this stuff is for you guys, okay? So this is gonna go away. We don't know when, but probably pretty soon. And when you log in, you're gonna see Zone Pro. So start playing with it. I'm trying to get corporate to do a Zoom class for us. Soon, like on Zoom for all 4 offices. So hopefully they can do that. But that Zone Pro is replacing just Zone, just so you guys know, okay? All right, so let me get out of these before I mess them up some more here. Okay, that's the other part of the portal. And last but not least, if I could find it real quick, you guys, I've been harping on this pocket listing thing. That may or may not be an issue, but there's an article in the RJ today, and I know none of you read the RJ. You should. Go to the RJ, click business, click housing, and there's an article in here today about how pocket listings might be, on the rise, okay? Any of you wouldn't it be cool if a reporter called you from the RJ and interviewed you and you got your name in here? Right? Okay. It's not that hard. It really isn't. You just got to kind of kiss the butt of the reporter. So this guy, Patrick, who joined the company, the RJ, 2 years ago, the guy that wrote the article that pops up, replaced the guy, Eli Siegel, who's still at the paper. You might know Eli. I got lucky and met Eli 18 years ago when I became an agent. He wrote an article, and at my office, we were talking about how great the article was. So I wrote him a card. Hey, Eli, never met before, Tim at ABC Realty, loved your article. If you ever want another opinion, give me a call. Just a little card in the mail. Send him an email. 2 months later, he wrote another article. Send him another card, another email. 6 months later, he called me. Tim, it's Eli. Holy shit. Now I got to talk to the guy, right? I got to have an answer. And since then, he calls me every now and then, okay? And this guy, Patrick, replaced him in this part of what the Review Journal does. So this guy called me 6 months ago to talk about pocket listings, and I thought nothing of it. So when you read this article, these are my answers. I don't even know what I said. So if it's gibberish, if you say, "What, Tim? What are you talking about?" I don't remember when he called me in November. Exactly. What is a fucking goddamn pocket listing? Well, let me ask the experienced ones here. Where's Haya? What's a pocket listing in your definition, real quick?
It would be a listing that is not in the MLS, that is gonna, that the seller wants to sell, and you know about it, and they told you they want to sell, but
Who knows about it?
I know about it.
As the listing agent or the potential listing agent.
Potential listing agent, but it hasn't been put public into any MLS or anything.
Okay, so can you sell it? Can you sell a house?
The first question, is there a listing agreement signed?
That was my question to her, So could you sell it right now?
I have a listing agreement. If I have
Right.
a contract with the seller, yes.
If you guys are really bored one day, Google clear cooperation policy. I remember November of 2019, like it was yesterday. Me and Caldwell were at some NAR thing. Washington. We had to vote on this clear cooperation policy because I shouldn't say a lot. I guess if it's 1%, it's a lot. Agents were taking listings and not putting into MLS, but marketing to all their friends and relatives and their cohorts. Hey, shit, Alex, I got this deal coming up in about a week. Do you have a buyer? You know, and maybe he does, and before you know it, I put it on MLS, and Alex is the buyer. But a lot of times, Alex didn't represent the buyer. Guess who represented the buyer? Me, as a listing agent. So I had that listing. I didn't tell anybody because I'm going to try to, make a lot of money and double in this deal. And it happened a lot, especially during the REO days, short sale days. I hate to admit it, I did a lot of them during short sales. If any of you did short sales, you had the ability to find the buyer because the short sale's coming. But November of 19, we voted, that stuff went away. But now they're trying to bring it back to allow it. And I think that's part of what that 10-day submission clause is in the listing agreement too. So, but
Market the listing within 10
within 10
days.
days,
You can't go to the public, you can't go anywhere.
anywhere.
So I don't know how it's really considered a pocket listing.
I agree. Yeah, John Jeanette. If you don't know John, one of our more luxury agents, he called me yesterday. He goes, Tim, I'm on this website. I think it's some of you might know it. Top Agent Network, TAN. And he goes, there's a bunch of listings on here, Tim, from agents in town for sale that are not on MLS. What's up with that? I said, that's not good. They shouldn't be doing that. They could get fined big time. If you want to rat him out, John, you can rat him out. And he's not going to, but who knows? Okay, so you got to be careful with that stuff. So if you're on a team, go see Damon or Haya, or Dave. If not, see me or Wendy. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Tim, when are coming soon is going to the public? That's going to happen here shortly.
That's the other thing. You have all these portals that are changing their rules, and Redfin and Zillow and Realtor.com. It's hard to keep up with. It really is.
MLS is
Yeah.
changing it too.
MLS has changed.
Soon it's going to go to the public now. I want to say the next 30 days or so.
Probably. Yeah. So is a coming soon listing for sale? Can you make an offer on a coming soon?
Yes.
Who thinks you can make an offer on a coming soon? Who thinks Damon is crazy? He's very seldom crazy when it comes to this stuff. Okay. You can.
Sight unseen.
You can. Are you supposed to? Was that the purpose of coming soon? No, that wasn't the purpose of coming soon. The purpose of coming soon was to test the market and fix up the house.
Spoke to the agents.
Correct. Right. And ideally, when we came out with coming soon a couple of years ago, you'd wait until it went on MLS, and then you'd go see it and make an offer. But us agents, oh no, we're impatient. We want to go see the house tomorrow, and I don't give a shit when Dave you put it on MLS. Here's my offer.
Just had that happen yesterday on one of
Did you?
the properties.
Yeah. So it's a little crazy out there now, and especially when the market is maybe not as favorable as a lot of us want. Agents do a lot of crazy stuff. So just be careful. And if you're ever not sure, just come see someone so we can help you out with it, okay? All right, so that's my pocket listing story, gang. That's as good as it gets. All right, and let's get back to this. So Zone Pro is coming out, as you guys, I just mentioned to you. What else is happening here, Suze? There's the numbers. Nothing really has changed a whole lot. Median and average price is still the same. If you're curious what we did last June, we always put this in here so we could see how we're doing this month as we move towards the end of the month. So I think as long as we sell 2,500 to 3,000 total properties, we're okay. I think if we go below 2,500 total, then we're kind of,
2,066 in May.
Yeah. So again, the 600 of condos, townhomes, manufactured homes, stuff like that. So that's June. Miguel's not here. He's working. Miguel is our cop or fireman. He's a cop. Police officer. Okay. So he's never here. He's always doing some crazy cop stuff. But he had a great month. So congratulations, Miguel. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan here today? No Jonathan here. Okay. Jonathan, Miguel, as mentees, we appreciate you guys coming. Thank you so much for coming to the meeting here. Stay home. It's okay. Killing me here. These guys are killing me, All right, so that's Jonathan. What else we got here, Susan? All right, those are the hires for May and June, so congratulations. I think a couple of people in the room are in here. Do I see Gina Valona in here somewhere? Say hello to Gina, everybody. She joined us last month. Hey! All right. And I see Chad Passa. Chad was on boarding with me yesterday. I thought he was, a normal guy like me, 5'8", stealth, good looking. No, he's 6'6", he's got a beard, So everybody, Chad Passa. Say hello to Chad, Anybody else? No, okay. That's all I got. That's Chad. I'm getting a little delay here. What's the problem? Okay. Anniversaries. The only one that jumped off at me and he usually comes to the meetings. He's not here. The top center. Check out the top center. 21 years. Is the company 21 years old, Suze? Or pretty close, right? Son of a bitch. That is a lot. Yeah, so we appreciate that. Patrick, and he's a good guy. He comes in, has an office, accessible to you guys. My clicker's not working. Happy birthday if you have a birthday in June. Any of you ever go to the Summer Theater up at Spring Mountain over the years since you've lived here? A lot of fun, It's outside. It's a professional Broadway show, and it's the Newsies this month. So if you want to go,
That was last week. Their next show.
it's over.
Oh, they may be doing it again, I guess, but they did it last week.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna move right along like this never happened here. Way to go here, gang. It's coming, baby. It's coming. I don't know all right. 2 weeks from today, we're gonna do a barbecue. Rock Title's gonna participate. Epic, come on down. A lot of food. We put up the big tent outside. You're not gonna be here? Okay. And I think Sarah's not gonna be here either. I think she's gonna be somewhere. But Shane's gonna hold down the fort, everybody, okay? So that's 2 weeks from today. All right, what else we got here? Wind Down Wednesday. You guys know about Wind Down Wednesday. Here's the mentee rev up for those of you that are mentees in the room, Chad and some other folks. This is the upcoming classes. We have 3 more this month, 1 tomorrow and 2 next week, and then it starts up again. We have 3 free classes left with Matthew. One is in Green Valley, and the 29th is here, and the 18th is in the Southwest. So if you need CE by the end of June, there's 3, 6, 9 credits right there. Huh? It's not working. It's the remote for the TV. Because Wendy took this. You ever try to have the remote and move the PowerPoint? It doesn't work, See how good she is? I know, then we're dead. Oh. Then it's all over. All right. Let's see if it works. Bada bing. There you go. This one, no good. There you go. Okay. Real quick, if you need post, sign up with Key. We pay for it. Take advantage of it. Don't pay the money. Let us pay for it for you. That's the training class. We did onboarding yesterday. If you missed it, there's another one in July. And again, a lot of this stuff that we do, and I think you'll see more of it with the new Shane Moody regime here at Rock Title. They're going to participate in everything. We're going to milk every penny out of them that we can, money-wise, kidding, of course, to help us do what we do. And if you haven't met Sarah yet, it's your loss. You'll meet her today. But, we have a special guest with you, too. Oh, so ladies and gentlemen, Sarah McMahon, everybody. There she is. Yay.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Just wanted to let you know we're going to play a little bit of title insurance bingo this morning. So I'm going to move a little quickly because I promised Tim that it wouldn't take too long of the meeting. But we have a beautiful gift basket today. It's a 4th of July gift basket with a donation from Blue Valor. Blue Valor is a whiskey company that's local here in town that donates a percentage of the proceeds to all of the first responders. So that's one of my dear friends. He donated this for us. And then otherwise, there's a whole bunch of goodies in here to throw the best 4th of July party. So underneath your packet there, you should find a Rock Title bingo card. If somebody doesn't have one, I have one left. Anybody need one? Right here. As we all know how to play bingo, the first space is the free space. I will call out 10 terms at a time. The first person to get the bingo wins the gift basket, the beautiful gift basket. Miss Jaden here is my assistant extraordinaire, and she's going to come around the room, and whoever gets the bingo, she's going to help me verify. Does anyone need a bingo card? Last call. Wendy, you have one? Okay,
all right, gang, this is going to move fast, so pay attention. This is going to be rapid fire, baby.
Okay, everybody ready? All right. Here we go on round 1. Escrow.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Buyer. And tell me if I'm going too fast.
Nah, you're doing great.
Seller. One of my favorites. Trust. Mortgage. HOA. Cash.
tension is building.
Loan docs. And grant deed.
Woo, I got it. I'm just I was gonna get some excited.
Okay, round 2. Recording fees. Title search. LLC.
Do we have a bingo? Bingo, we got a bingo over here. I don't know. Okay, all right. Let's bring. It goes to the law firm of Schaller, Schaller, and Schaller, and she will confirm the authenticity. All right, Marcus, big fella, go in and go get him. Let's see. Woohoo! Woohoo! Dude, you were the odds on the win, man. But no.
Can you take one up and down too for me? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Congratulations. Thanks, guys.
Since she's on a number, I want to do her chair. She's new too. Okay. Still got the student. No. All right, gang. Congratulations, Marcus. Good job. Good job. All righty, gang. Like I said, I really enjoy when we do these panels because, before I forget, John Morgan is down at Southwest today. He had something he couldn't give up to go down there, so John is down there. Wen, are you okay?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. All right, kids. So, like I said, I enjoy these panels because usually when it's over, me and Wendy will chat a little bit and we'll come up with something that we didn't know or something that we forgot. To be honest with you, a lot of times we forget a lot of things that you guys do that make you really, really successful. You know, like just making sure you have sellers coverage when you go on a listing appointment. Make sure you talk about sellers coverage. A lot of you forget. I would forget. We went on a listing appointment recently. I don't know if I brought that up. Did you? We both forgot. And we have a listing in MLS. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. But, did we talk to the sellers about it? About putting it on? Do we have it on? We don't. Okay. That's the point. We don't have it on. So, but I'm sure there's a good reason why, right, Wen? Okay. But my point is, these panels remind us of things that we should have been doing, that we know what to do, but we forget because we get caught up in stuff. So, Damon Caldwell, come on up. Haya Kessler, come on up. And Dave Gavitt, come on up, big guy. Woo, woo, woo. We're going to beat you up with questions, if you don't mind.
I guess I'll sit in the middle.
Just out of curiosity, how many of you in the room are on a team? Raise your hand. 2, 3, 2, 2-ish. Okay. Okay. How many of you ever thought about being on a team? 4. Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever. How about we go right to left? Just 30 seconds. Dave, tell them who you are, how long you've been an agent, why you started a team, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is David Gavick. I actually kind of got forced into being a team leader. And when I say forced, it was because we had some changes that happened. And a group of people came up and said, hey, Dave, we need to make a transition, we need to make a move, and you've been helping us this entire time. So we just come work with you. I was like, yeah, no, sounds like a good idea. That was part of my 5-year plan anyway. And so it just kind of gave me that jump start. And that's the honest truth. I come from a different background than a lot of people do. I've been a professional athlete, and also I came from the gym business. So I used to build gyms, and I developed gyms all over the world. So I got my real start in actual starting businesses. And so starting a group, a lot of people, I think they start out in real estate just looking to find their footing, but they never looked at it like a business standpoint. And who owns a business, owned a business, came from a business? Okay. So there's not really a lot of entrepreneurship, and then they jump into it because they want this nice relax. I make my own schedule. Well, welcome to the real world. You work on everyone else's schedule but your own, right? So I'm used to that because I have kids too. So yeah, really when I got the approach of starting a group, it was a very boutique idea. I don't have a big team. I've worked with some of the #1 teams in the nation. I helped build a brokerage, and we landed here, which you guys are so blessed. I don't know if you guys have been to other brokerages or not, but you're so blessed to be a part of Realty One Group because all of my personal morals aligned with this company. And I honestly, I didn't know much about it, and I came over with the brokerage. They knew a guy named Rich, where I met Aya, and then I was introduced by to Damon. This knowledge right here, whether you're going to go a part of a team or not, you need to utilize what's in front of you. You really do. I'm so thankful to be a part of Realty One Group. So
Good
if you guys
stuff.
have any questions, come find me.
Thank you, Dave. Good stuff. Dave Gavick, everybody. All right, Haya.
I'm Haya Kessler, and I've been with Realty One Group for 6 years. And my background is I trained in psychology and personal management, and I got a master's in family and marriage therapy. But I never really practiced it. I got married, and my husband was a young doctor. We opened a couple of medical practices, so I managed his business. We opened medical practice, closed them. I hired, fired, trained, did everything. I had to learn everything because I didn't know anything about it. And then when we moved, my husband had like a breakdown, and instead of buying a sports car, he decided to join the army as a doctor. So, so we moved to Kentucky, and I got my license there. And I was a solo agent for a long time. I've been in real estate for 21 years. And in 2020, Richard Brodkin approached me, and he wanted me to be, in his team. And I was starting to work with agents at the brokerage I was at, and I was training them. They were brand new agents. And I thought, this is nice. I like doing this. I enjoy working with people, I enjoy training the agents. So I joined the Brodkin group, and I wasn't totally happy being a team leader. I wanted to have my own team. I've never been really great at having people telling me what to do. So I thought I better do it myself. And then Richard said, no, 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 just stay, just stay. You can be a team in my brokerage. I said, okay. Well, then we moved here, and we were a giant team. After COVID, we all moved here. So for 2 years, I was with Richard, and he was my mentor. And then for 2 years, I was with Damon. And I learned a lot from both of them. And, I have nothing but good things to say. I really grew in many ways, and I learned a lot from being in those teams. And, 2 years ago, I decided, well, I want to do things again my way because that's me. And I decided to split and open our own team. And it's been really amazing. We're a small group, and I just absolutely love it. We're very close knit. I couldn't do it in any other brokerage but Realty One Group. We really have the best support here, the best brokers, the best system. It allows you to grow as an individual agent or as a team. And I think, I'm blessed that I was able to be here, and I learned from great people like Damon and Richard.
Thank you, Haya. Haya Kessler, everybody. All right, last but not least, the guy at the end, Damon Caldwell, big fella. That's it. Time to go.
Great stuff. I've been in real estate going on 25 years now. So I was as a top producer when I first got in, and my first broker, Gianna O'Brien, bless her heart, she's an amazing individual. She identified me as somebody she wanted in a leadership role, and so she brought me on as her sales manager, and I started coaching, training, and mentoring new agents. For the most part, 2 years in, because I launched my career pretty quickly. Right. From there, I ended up going into a management role, and ran some of the top offices in the Las Vegas market here with Prudential Americana Group back then. Now Berkshire Hathaway, and so I've always been focused on agent development. That's always been my number one, my priority, my passion. So I became the broker, came to Realty One Group in 2012, going on my 16th year now, and became the corporate broker. Moved up, became the only corporate broker. When I first came, there was 4 corporate brokers, and they selected me to be the individual corporate broker over the 4 locations, and then promoted me to regional manager. And so I was running all of the 4 locations here as manager. Hired Tim Kelly here before I stepped out. but I wanted more. I wanted to have a bigger impact on agents' lives, and so I decided to step out of the broker role and purchase a team, and so I could have much more input and hands-on with agent development and our team leaders and our growth. So very focused on agent success.
Good stuff, Damon. And one thing I'll just tell you guys real quick about me, full disclosure, when I got hired in May of '08 as a realtor at the big balloon company, okay, I was a loan officer before that. And this realtor, I did some loans for him. We worked together. Then, everything hit the fan. Mortgage company went out of business. He told me to go to Key to get my license because he's starting a team. And you can join our team, Tim. And that was Rich Brodkin. So I always tell people I'm like number 3 on the original Brodkin group, or number 12 or whatever, and it's funny how we all, and the other person that helped me get here is this guy, and now the other person helping me stay here is this gal, so you got to surround yourself with some really good people, gang, because if you think you're going to pull this off on your own, you're not, okay? And even other realtors that try not to be adversarial with them. What goes around comes around. That agent that you're having a pissing match about a $300 fee to close the deal, could be the broker 4 years from now here. Who knows? Stuff happens. So just kind of keep that stuff in mind, okay? I think everyone wants to know kind of how your teams are structured. Like Damon, how is your team structured? Like if I join your team, am I 100% agent? Am I,
different programs
you do,
for our
right?
team, depending on the level that the agent's at. For us, it's really identifying where the value is for the agents, or what they need in their business to move forward, to grow. And then we come up with a commission structure for them individually. We have we're very systemized, but for us, it's more so about the agent development and growth. So we want to align with their goals.
Gotcha. Okay. And I think you have an opportunity on your team to be a team leader.
Yeah, actually,
right?
We're
Right?
hiring,
If I remember?
we're looking
Yeah.
for 2 team leaders currently right now. So with
Okay.
some experience, we'd love to sit down and talk
Gotcha.
about possibly becoming a team leader.
And Damon's team is relatively large. How many agents?
I want to say we have somewhere around 80 agents.
80 right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
and 5 team leaders. So every team leader has around 10 to 15 agents underneath them, and just
Go from there. Gotcha. Okay. Now, how was yours set up?
Well, we're set up, we're a smaller team. We are only a total of 10 agents right now, and that includes Brandon, that is my operations manager. And he's really the heart of the team. He deals with all the technology, with everything. And, the way that we set up our team, all the agents can come. Again, it's based on their experience, what their split is going to be. But everybody's an agent within the team, but we work with collaboration. We're not, it's not like I'm the boss making all the decisions, but, we really do a lot of the decisions together, including hiring new agents in the team. So, we will not accept anybody in the team unless the team has a chance to meet them, see who they are, and give their opinion. And if they don't feel that they're fit for our type of team, they're not going to come to our team. And we basically work, with agents that have a little bit of experience. They don't need to have a lot of experience, but they need to have a little bit of experience. And we give them what I felt I needed when I was in any brokerage, because every broker gives you a lot of great systems, a lot of great tools, but they don't do it for you. We do it for you. We'll get you set up. We'll get everything set up for you. We'll get all your flyers done. You don't need to do any of that. We'll get your newsletter done. We don't give you the template. We'll give you the newsletter. We help you set up all your, contacts in the CRM. We help you with everything. And you have Brandon, again, as the technology expert, genius of the team. And you have me for any other questions you need.
It's funny, gang. I think I told you guys when we do these panels, I think I speak for Wendy, we usually come out of this with something that we forgot or whatever. And like Damon's team, he has a whole training program. It's equivalent to Rev Up for the most part. So you're going to get the same training. Double Rev, of course. It's better than Rev Up, Yeah, okay. And Haya just the other day said, Tim, come watch this. I went into her office. She played me a 63-second social media video that her and Brandon did for the team. Blew me away. It's unbelievable. All 10 agents were in this video chirping away, talking about different stuff. It was great. So I'm going to steal that idea from me, Wendy, Suzanne, Sharon, and really, I mean, and Amy to create a little video about the office. That took a minute, and I would have never dawned on me because Hy was nice enough to show me. So that was kind of cool. Now, Dave, your team is newer than the other two, or no?
No, yeah, no, we're a bit newer. And I didn't want to throw the name around. That's why I used the 1% thing. But I also worked with Rich and helped build up the team. So we have a lot in common.
Nah,
Right?
Rich's ears are ringing like crazy right now.
He'd be very impressive.
Yes.
It's not hard. Love it.
Yeah.
But what's cool is you get kind of three different dynamics. Obviously Damon with his experience being able to manage so much and have just keep adding to this machine it's incredible. Hy and I, we kind of came up the same way because I actually sat in the room with her when she came on to Home Connect America. Rich used me as the token here. So
Right.
no,
Yeah, no, he did.
yeah, so my model is a little bit different. Like I said, it's a little more boutique. I focus a little bit more on the concierge side of things, so it's kind of a full service. So by keeping it small, it gives me a lot more opportunity for hands-on to really identify the strengths and especially the weaknesses of anybody who's coming in. I prefer working with new agents, especially those. The reason why I asked if anybody has business or anything is because you have an idea of where you start. Anytime you start a business, you start with the exit of the business, and a lot of people, they don't think that way. And so my goal is to make everyone a listing agent, and that's kind of hard to do when you have so many different parts going. I'm not a big tech guy. I was taught to dial for dollars, and so I'm a very, very hands-on person. So when people don't have bad habits already, or they're scared of the phone, I really like to sit there and just hammer them because that's what happened to me growing up. So yeah, and as far as structure goes, we have a lot of flexibility, but it really just depends on, again, experience. But it's not just experience as an agent; it's just experience in life and how I can best draw out those skills. It kind of varies. So it's up to you essentially. We set goals. With the new system, they have this like goal coach thing. That takes the dumb out of everything to sit down and do. If you don't know your numbers, like you should jump on that right away.
Right. And here's again something I picked up from Dave right now. If you've ever been at a meeting with Jeff Wallenfang, Jeff beat you over the head that you have to act like this is a business. You're a business owner. When I started 18 years ago, it took me probably 10 years to figure that out. I was just an agent. I thought I was an employee for many years at my old company. I worked for Remax. Yeah, I was proud. I just yell it out like it's, but no, I was self-employed. But it took me years to figure that part out. And then once you do, your whole mindset kind of changes, and you start going in, I think, the right direction. Wen, anything you want to hit them with?
So what they're saying, guys, is you guys need to, if you're thinking about a team, you need to interview with all of them. You're going to get different things, and there's different structures and all that. Because I get that question a lot is, well, how much does a team take? Everything's different. You guys do, every team is run differently, and then their structure is different as well. But my question, you guys offer leads, and how are they distributed? If you do. Let's start with
Currently we have a couple of lead programs where we're doing really a lot of seller leads. So I have seller leads coming in right now, and it's a matter of sitting down with the agents and identifying whether or not they want to invest in learning how to do a listing presentation, right? Knowing how to do the paperwork and all that good stuff to see if they would want to take on seller leads. Same thing with buyer leads. It's a matter of sitting down and making sure that they're ready to take on buyer leads and make phone calls and to follow up with leads that are coming in. We do provide leads. We don't focus. That's not our primary focus. Our primary focus is agent development. And so, doubling on what Hy, I think she probably when she was on the team, we provide a newsletter done. So we have a VA, a virtual assistant, for all of our marketing. We also have a wonderful admin here, Tracy, to help with agents as well. So we're well built out for our support structure. Very important. We have a compliance department as well for our agents to leverage. So for us, it's about the concierge for the agents. It's giving all the tools and resources plug and play for them, so they don't have to go and recreate the wheel, because that's where agents get stumped. Is when they have to go, hey, go do a market update. Oh, okay. Where do I get the numbers? We do that for them. We send it to them with a template link. They can take that. They get that out to their database. We have systems for sphere of influence. We just launched a new program for expireds and for sale owners, for the agents that want to double up on their listing inventory. We just launched a new marketing program for them as well. So we provide Open 7, which is the premier expired FISBO platform. Listings to Leads, another marketing platform that we just launched as well, or getting ready to launch, where we have the marketing templates, all that stuff done for the agents, that they can plug and play and start generating businesses is the number one goal. So yes, we provide leads, but it's really individual. It's an individual conversation. Agents think leads are gold, and what they realize is that that's the overpromise, underdeliver in this industry. A lot of these teams, hey, I have leads, and they go and get the leads. They realize they have to make 100 phone calls to connect with somebody. And they're like, these are junk leads. No, they're leads. You got to follow up. I just had one of our agents put one in escrow from 2 years ago, right? Just from follow up. It's a $30,000 commission check. So it's really about the mindset, and we want to help you. If you want to take advantage of leads, it's a matter of getting you situated to have success there.
Because it's always funny when agents come to me and Wendy and they say, Tim, you think about joining a team. The first thing they ask us is, what's the split? How much are they going to take of my money, meaning the team, and do they give leads? And both of those are really important questions. But I remember when I joined Rich back in 2008, I got 4 or 5 leads a day. He was doing some Tiger leads, I think, or something, right? And I'm saying, this is great. And then after about 2 months, I'm saying, oh my God, this is just too much. Who did I call? They're not calling me back. And of course, Rich, these leads suck. Right? That's what we say. Because no one's calling us back. But so leads aren't the end all be all, is to Damon's point, right? Haya, what do you got?
Well, we actually just started getting leads. I'm not big on online leads, but we just started getting these leads about 2 months ago, and I just started giving them to the agents, and they're actually really good leads. I think we got in the last 2 months about what, more than 60 leads?
Probably about that, yeah.
Yeah, and we've converted it's going to be about 6 of them or something
Yeah.
like that.
Two
So,
yesterday.
yeah, 2 yesterday, and we're working with a few. So those leads are a mix of buyer and seller leads, but they're good. They're solid. And how do I give them to the agents? Well, they need to do the work basically. I mean, my agents, none of them is brand new. We have a couple that are brand new, but they're awesome, and they follow everything they need to do, and they're very good on what they're doing. But it's gonna be really pretty much, I give you the lead, you need to work the leads. I need to see that you are consistent. I need to see that you are committed to do it, and you need to log it in the CRM. We have a CRM, we have Brevity, from where you can call, text, or email. Everything can go from there. Everything gets logged in there. You have your own phone number separate from your private number. So, we have a lot of systems. We really worked very hard in the past year at getting our systems set up, and we have a very solid system. We also have, a compliance person. Brandon is our TC, and he makes sure that everything is done, but he does a full TC. He doesn't do only half TC. He doesn't just upload documents. He follows up with the lender. He follows up with the other agent. He follows up with everything. The agents take care of just the business of being agents, writing contracts and closing deals, and we take care of everything else.
Very nice, very nice. All right, Dave, tell me, how does the Gavitt group do it?
So, like what he's saying, the biggest question is splits. And all I can say is what your percentage of 0 is still going to be 0.
Really? Is that how it works?
Way it is, right? So when it comes to leads, my main focus is teaching people how to close. I know a lot of it's probably a bad term to say, but there's a lot of fluffers and they think they're very good at sales and they can start to work, but they couldn't close a door. And so if I'm handing leads that cost money and you can't close them, like why are we doing that, right? So we need to get to the root of the problem. And the other thing is, yeah, we utilize a couple platforms, and then we decide you choose your niche, then we guide you on that to what your strength is, because it's great to have some leads that are coming in. Oh, I love being a buyer. How many buyers can you work with at one time? You just can't do that many, right? So you want to focus on what you're good at. And then we'll invest into you, but you're going to invest also. So when you have skin in the game, you're going to do everything you can to get good at closing, because it doesn't matter how good or how hot that lead is. If you you don't know how to close somebody, you're not making any money, right? So yeah, we have some platforms. I use one personally that they have access to, but I think there's so many different options, and people are way better at technology than I'll ever be. So they might know something I don't, and what we do is we fine tune. So if they're really good at one thing, and I don't really know anything about it, I'm gonna make sure that if you're starting to get those leads and we teach you how to generate those things, you need to be able to close. So really, I get a phone book out because that's a good lead platform. And you call and you have their phone number, you have their name, and you could ask 100 people, hey, you want to buy or sell today? You're probably going to get one. I mean, I know that sounds so archaic, but you just have to get in there and grind and do it. And so, yeah, with lead platforms, we have technology. We utilize the full TC. We've got an amazing TC person, but I also want people to be able to read a contract, an agreement, upside down, because you need to be able to look that person in the eye and have that agreement sitting in front of them and be able to cover everything from top to bottom. And that's your best utilization of anything. Because if you have a lead, it means nothing if you cannot close them and service them right.
And today's point, again, you bring me back to something that I did. You really need to know the paperwork. You really need to know the RPA and the listing agreement well enough that when I did loans for 4 years, back then, the loan officer could sign the borrower. Now we hire outside notaries. No, then the loan officer could sign them, and the notary that worked for my mortgage company came in and notarized the documents. But I explained I explained the note to them, everything. And like Dave said, they'd be across from me, and it's upside down. And so you have to get that good with our paperwork and all the division paperwork that you can explain it upside down. You're not reading it, but you explain the hold harmless paragraph that's 18 lines in 5 seconds. You should be able to do that. You're not reading the 18 lines of the hold harmless clause on page 7 of the RPA. That's kind of crazy, okay? Like you, I'm not a big technology guy. Obviously, I'm using the wrong remote to fucking change the channels here. But I think I'm better than that. I kind of, Realty One has some great technology that we can not get you guys to use. Just saying, I'm just saying, okay? A lot of companies are like that. A lot of big companies that invest in stuff like this for their agents. It's hard to get you to use it. But we're going to keep harboring on it, beating you over the head. I appreciate the plug for the goal thing that you put in there. Very nice. Yep. So if you want to do goals and you want to make 100 grand, it'll tell you in 8 seconds how many deals you have to do to make 100 grand in Zone Pro. Okay. But technology-wise, Damon, you got some pretty cool stuff, right? If I remember.
Yeah, we're full steam ahead with the technology. We have our agents doing video. I just did a video. We're very collaborative. So I'm actually took a listing that agent with me on a listing appointment last 2 weeks ago. She is amazing, which is what we're really all about. So we want to make sure that we wrap arms around our agents and get them in the business. Did a video with an agent in the Southwest Green Room last week as well. And so technology for us right now, we're up in our game in marketing, right? Where agents can generate more leads via marketing. We provide a lofty CRM, which is one of the top rated CRMs in the marketplace, has AI built into it. There's obviously, you have to invest in it to understand it and all that good stuff, but there's just so much at your fingertips right now. So marketing and lead generation are 2 things that we're very, very focused on to get our agents, in the game and get them producing at the level that they want to produce at. Right. So yeah, we provide all the technology resources that you need, whether lofty. There's a few other platforms that we offer. We have our own back office, Humble Root Place. You can log on and there's videos there. There's marketing resources there. There's templates, flyers, all that good stuff for you to leverage as well in that platform.
Haya, how's technology at the Kessler
Well,
team?
We've been working a lot with technology. We've been using a lot of AI. AI has been really our best friend. I get the idea and Brandon implements it because I'm not the most technological person here. But we get different ideas of what to do. We use a lot of AI. Like I said, we have Brevity that provides just about anything you need. It also has an AI in it. And we really are embracing the new era and the new technology just to learn from it and to help the agents grow, learn, market. We're doing a lot of videos. We just started doing some videos that we're gonna do as a team. And it helps that we're a small team. We can all work together. And really, I mean, all the stuff that everybody else has, we can provide it to you. Damon has great system. He's always had great system. He has a whole training system of classes. We don't have a training system of classes, but we do have a checklist of everything you have to do, and we work with you on that. And we work with you one-on-one on anything you need. You work with me on anything that is transactional. You work with Brandon on everything else. He's the one that, you really want to be nice to. Be nice to Brandon.
Brandon,
Because he's the one.
if someone on your team does an open house, do you do it for them too? No, no? Oh, dude, come on. You're not going to sit in an open house?
But
God.
he'll get the list of the farm around it. He'll send to everybody the emails if we need to. He'll make sure that we get everything that needs to be done. He'll make sure that the signs are ordered when we need them, that they're removed.
I'll set it up, you just have to do it.
Dude, no, I don't want to do it. I'll set it up. You go sit.
No, you just have to sit there, but everything else we can take care of.
Okay. All right, Dave, what do we got technology-wise?
So my little platform I use is called RedX. That allows, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it or not, but RedX is great. It's very simple to use. And to piggyback off, if you're doing open houses for people, using RedX, just as a little tip for everybody, we teach you how to do open houses because there is a right and a wrong way to do it. There really is. There's a safe way to do it. There's a not safe way to do it. There's ways to get people in there, and there's just the old school star drill where you're knocking on all the doors around. Everybody kind of knows that. With RedX, what I try to do is I try to get everybody to pull in those expires, try to go talk to those FISBOs, try to go talk to, know your active listings, and you can call them ahead of time and invite them. It just takes work. There's a lot of technology, and again, with the new zone, probably 10% of it will be used, and so the technology is great, but you have to put in the work like Brandon said. No matter what the technology, you actually have to use it. If I still like Excel spreadsheet. I work with a big investor, and I hate it, right? So I've been learning AI because they do Excel spreadsheets for me, which is great. But we have a roll call sheet of where everything is at as far as in the rehab that it goes, whether it's still in probate, whether we have evictions, things like that. It's just find the technology that works for you. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Technology is amazing. However, it can also bog you down from being productive because you're trying to learn so many different things and we're overwhelmed. Again, it's easier to go close deals if you're talking to people. And yes, the lead is what gets you in front of talking to people. But if you take the time on your own, wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, stay up later, the kids go to bed, stay up and study that. That should not be your primary focus. Your primary focus should be setting a time to make phone calls. Use an auto dialer. That's what like the RedX. They have a Vortex call system. You can use technology to compress time and buy yourself more time. But just go from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. making phone calls, and then you get to use your CRM. Because if you're not out there doing things and meeting people and making phone calls, you don't even need a CRM. You can use an Excel spreadsheet, right? So just learn the technology that's going to work best for you and utilize all these things. Take the notes on what he's saying of what is available and use it, but also know that that is not what's going to get you moving in business. It's really not. It's a tool, but just get out there and learn more and bring something to me. If there's something out there that I don't know about, I would 100% love to hear about it. I probably won't be able to figure it out. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll spend the time in the off hours learning and growing on that stuff. But otherwise, I'm just hit, and that's really what we focus on as far as technology goes. If you have a cell phone, I've sold listings I have never even actually walked into because I have a cell phone, and that's the technology. Just focus on the basics. Use the other tools to grow and to expand your business. But until you're there yet, just stay focused on the grind.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Can
All
I
right.
chime in on that?
Please.
Just because it's so important. I mean, there's so much noise in our world right now. We talk a lot about this with our agents because it can really just paralyze you, right? People are throwing stuff at you left and right. one of the main focuses for us is really getting clear on what the agent wants to focus on, and then leveraging the tools that are going to get them productive, not trying to use everything at one time or do everything at one time. You have to start with your goal. What is it that you're focused on? Where are your strengths? Where do you feel you're going to have the best shot at launching your business if you're new, or growing your business, right? Scaling your business if you're seasoned. And then we identify the tools that will help you take that next step. And that's what your focus is. Not bouncing off the walls, trying to use everything that you can to generate business, and it all falls short because you didn't commit to it. You never mastered it really. So there's so many AI platforms out there now that can benefit you, but you have to invest some time into learning them.
Gotcha.
Well, and I agree with both of them because everybody wants to know everything. There's so many tools, there's so many different things, and not everybody needs to use everything that is there, like Damon said. And David said, you need to focus on what is really important to you and what you want to do. We take care of going through all of those different platforms. We take care of looking and seeing what's going to work and what we can work with, and things that you want to learn, we're going to help you learn them. But it's really important that you don't try to do everything because it's just so overwhelming. You just cannot go. I just went to we were in Detroit, we went to an AI class, and they just went to some of like the most important, or like the best AI platforms for realtors, and there were like about eight or nine, and then they send us 200 AI platforms, 200, and each one does something different, and then you start comparing them. So really just at the end of the day, like with just simple things like making a phone call. I've been telling the agents that I given them leads. Make that phone call. You're gonna get the lead. Make the phone call. They were texting, they were emailing, they were like, "Oh, I want to call." Well, they picked up the phone, and guess what? They got the leads. They got the clients. So focus on just being you, being present, giving good service, and then utilizing technology as needed. But don't focus only on technology.
And I think Damon made a good point. Hang on to that, Chad. I think all three of them, if you meet with them, they'll try to figure out what you're good at or what you want to do. And I remember, again, Rich, I know the ears are ringing, big boy. I remember talking to Rich, and he said, "Tim, do you think you want to work with buyers or sellers?" I said, "I don't care. I just want to make money." And then we went through both. And like Dave said, how many buyers can you work with after a couple of years of summers showing homes? I said, "No, this ain't going to work, dude. I want sellers." And he said, "Well, you're going to go knock on a door or you're going to call them. I'm in for the calling." So for a year or 2 years, 8 a.m., I went to the office. We didn't have Red X or anything back then. He didn't buy that. I don't think he did. But it was just phone numbers, and put on a little headset and had my little script, just listed, just sold, or whatever. And if I got a listing appointment, Rich came with me, and he got the listing until I was good enough to do it. So that was my way of doing it. How many of you are door knockers? How many really like to knock on doors? You're crazy. You're nuts. This guy loves it. This guy loves it. No, I'm not gonna. If he knocked on my door, I wouldn't open it. Okay, just saying. I'm just saying. I don't. Well, that's true. That's through the ring. We'll talk through the ring doorbell here, but I'd rather get you on the phone and talk to you. So, but they'll all figure out when you meet them what you think you're kind of good at. Okay. We have a little time left. Who has some questions for them?
Just a quick question. I have considered being on a team. I like being surrounded by talent and people who are obviously better than me in many ways. So I had a question about, we talked a lot about, for all of the team leaders here, about leads and getting you to do what you need to do in a real estate transaction. But I'm just curious if I could get some feedback on your guys' take on, there are a lot of expires right now. Stuff is expiring. How are any of you like solving that problem? Because okay, so I did all the phone calls, I knocked on doors I didn't want to, I got a lead, I got the listing, thought we priced it right, all these things happen, and then nobody buys it, right? Like there's a market element that we all deal with, right? I'm not surprised, but there's a market element that's going on right now, right? How are you guys combating that? Is anybody creative?
We're fully invested in, for one, educating our agents on knowing the market, right? Knowing the market. So when they first meet with the seller, they have a very direct conversation with them to price the property where they need to price the property. So knowing how to do a great CMA, comparative market analysis, right? Being able to provide the seller with the data needed to be able to price the property right. The last 4 listings I had, I sold in 3 weeks. right? It's just pricing right, making sure the property condition is in the best shape as possible as well.
Right, that property condition seems like.
Oh, very important right now. So
Very
pricing and
important, right?
condition are the two number one factors right now above all else, because we're still seeing multiple offers on some properties. It's just making sure that you're
Being that property on the
absolutely,
street, right?
you're in the market range, right? So if you're outside of the market range, you're probably going to be a longer time on the market versus, hey, let's get the property price right. And the great thing right now is that the data is there to support you. When the market first shifted, sellers, it always takes a little while for sellers to come to the game, right? To come to the party. Yes, the home down the street sold for this amount of money. I can't sell for just as much or less. I want more. Time has went by now to where as long as you're educated, right, as long as you have your skill set, you can sit down with the seller and they're willing to listen to you on, hey, this is where you need to price the property. I think a lot of agents fail there though. They go, they meet, and the seller says, hey, I want this much. And
When you say fail, you mean like the
Well,
the element of training, right?
correct. They
don't
don't know how to have a conversation with the seller or they're scared to say, hey, this is where you should be priced. Right, instead of saying, "Oh, I want 550" when it's a $500,000 home. Okay, yeah, we can start there, and it becomes a painful process for both the buyer, the agent, and the seller.
Conversation
In
no
terms
one
of
wants
an
to have,
expired
yeah.
listing, instead of, hey, now there are agents that buy listings, which means they're going to take the higher listing and then beat up on the seller for the next 6 months to drop the price. And we try to avoid that and have a serious conversation with the seller as far as, hey, this is what the data shows. What's your motivation? What are your goals? You want to get your home sold. This is where we should price the home. And then just the follow-up is the most important with the seller, I think, is the weekly follow-up, making sure going back into the data, looking at your updated CMAs so you can educate. I just sold a home. It was $979, and I do research every week on my listings and make sure that I'm in tune with what's going on in the market. Well, their tax record, the ABM, I don't know if you guys know on the tax record, there's an automated valuation model. When I first met with that seller 2 months before we listed, it was at 980, that automated valuation model. When we listed it, it was at 960. The 2 weeks after we listed it, dropped to 920.
Wow.
I shared that with them gently, not saying, hey, this isn't the value of your home, but just be aware, ABMs are picking up some different data out here on price points. Next week we got an offer at 9.
Act as the liaison person.
Yeah. I mean the data, right? Data at your fingertips. I think you have to do really good with knowing the data and sharing it with the sellers to at least get them, in the right mindset.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty much what we also do. We make sure that the agents are trained on how to present the listing and that they have all the data. You really need to know your data. You need to know the dates in the market. You need to know what is their motivation. You need to know really what they want, and then work with them. And and you need to really not want to just list the property, because if somebody's going to want you to list it for 800,000, but it's really worth
I heard
700,000.
Tim Ferry say that. I think he said just say no.
No, just say no, and and the agents know. I said, because they come to you and they said, what do I do? I said, it's up to you. You don't need to take every listing. Not every listing is a good listing. If you're gonna fail, well, let them get another agent, and then you go next when the other agent failed, because then they're gonna list it at the price that we told
Pick
them
up
to
their
list.
expired listing.
Sometimes it's better to be second.
Yeah, sometimes you can just do that.
Sometimes it's better
But,
to be second.
sometimes when they want and they said, yeah, maybe you're right, blah, 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 we just put it in the contract. We put it in the listing agreement. After 2 weeks, this is the price that we're gonna go, and they sign on it ahead of time. We're gonna lower it for this price. And Jermaine is really good at doing that. He just doesn't miss it ever. He goes and takes a listing and, and we talk about it. And then we also talk about it at our team meetings. We have a team meeting once a week, and we discuss. Every agent will do a CMA, and we'll give our opinion. Everybody will give our opinion on everybody else's listing. Why do you think, why did you list it at that price? What do you think it should be listed? And we discuss, and then that agent, if he needs to, he goes and talks to the client and says, you know what? We've had 8 other agents. We went for this, and this is what decided is the price that your house should be. This is why it's not selling. When do you want to sell it? How long do you want to hold it? So we work very closely together with all the data, and then we keep the clients informed. We're just launching our new app. We're gonna have private app for the team that is gonna
That's
connect
nice.
with the buyers and the sellers and the agents. We're gonna have a portal just for our buyers and sellers and our portal for our agents. And then the clients are gonna be informed on everything that happens in the process, of the transaction. And, also the agents, they send updates every week. We encourage them to send a CMA every week or just a little market analysis, which we can send directly from our, CRM. It will send once a week a market analysis, letting them know where their property is at any time.
Questions? Anybody else?
You mentioned.
Chad's ready for more?
Schedule. Can I hear your feedback
Oh.
on that?
Yeah, so let me touch on expires just briefly. So in my passing of time, I got to learn from a very, very skilled negotiator named Chris Moss. I got to work one-on-one with this guy. If you don't know who he is, Google. Manage the expectations from the absolute start. And when you approach an expired, have them walk you through it. How did you come up with this price? And then they're going to tell you, because there's so much data out there and people have so much knowledge now that they will tell you exactly what their thought process was. They have to say that out loud. And when they start talking out loud, you start saying something stupid, and you're like, as I'm saying it, I'm realizing how ridiculous this sounds. You get them to say that to you. That's just my little tidbit, because that's worked for me in the past. Because now I know where their thought process was at, and now I can navigate. Okay, so this is where you want to be. This is the reality. You have the data, but does the data match up, right? So it's kind of a basic approach. But once you find out how to manage those expectations, I tell them, I'll take your listing, but I don't do price reductions under $15,000. They're like, whoa, that's a lot. Well, I can sit there and do $5,000 every 2 weeks. I can write that in the agreement. That's totally fine. But let's get to the point. This is where we're going to be, and I don't do those. So I give them the option to take that off. So if you know it's overpriced and you know that that's what they want, if they absolutely have to have it because they can't move to their next house, they can't do something, then you know that you just say that. You talk about it out loud, and then you go, okay, I can do everything I can to get you here, but the reality is, and that's the expectation that's set. And what was your question on the roll?
Just market ready homes, right? Because we all know what that looks like. It's like, if I could, the only reason the new build's getting bought up on the side of the mountain 10 miles from where they really want to live, is because it's turnkey. But they want this house over here, and then they want to haggle them all the way down, and so then you're negotiating based on these like philosophical ideas that don't actually exist, because there's no way for that homeowner to spend $60,000 to get to the home to the buyer's level, and then there's this.
Right. So that's kind of multidimensional.
Because you mentioned rehab, so I didn't know if you played with that at all. Like,
yeah. So
a
big chunk of our business, of my business, is I work with a very seasoned investor who's done over 1,200 renovations in town. That is a lot of properties, right? And so I earned that relationship working with them because I have that. I know the markets, I know the data, all that stuff. With new builds, people are going towards new builds because yes, they're new, they're shiny, they're clean, but they also get good rates. They're getting all these incentives, they're getting concessions. You can still do that for your client in resale, right? Because the price is the price, but then you're talking a whole other side of this for concessions to get them to where they need to be. That also rolls into expires. The people who are selling probably want to go buy a new house. And a lot of times if they feel comfortable, they're going to go ahead and buy that house and hope that they sell the best, right? So you have different facets of what you need to do. As far as like the renovation, there's a lot of flippers out here, and their work is not good. It's just not good. And I grew up, building businesses and building gyms and doing these things. My uncle was also a contractor, and so we built. I used to work and swing hammers for him when I was like from the age of 10 to like 14. And so I've seen him go through pick holes and different things. So when I'm walking a property, this is also knowledge that you need to gain, right? Is you're looking to see if this is actually good or is it lipstick on a pig, is what he said, right? So everybody's heard that term. So use that to an advantage, right? Like if you can see good craftsmanship, you always have due diligence, right? You can go in, just know that stuff. But you can put, apples to, they're not apples because new is not the same as rehab, but just finding out what they want. What else do you want to know about that?
No, I just was curious. I'm just learning you guys here. I mean, you're all very unique, all of you. Like, nobody's like really like kind of you got your boutiques and, if you could.
Yeah, that's the cool part. A little variety is good, I think, here. Okay. Gina, you have something? Last question.
I had a question in regards to what you're seeing in the luxury market. Is the median and average sale price was below 500,000. I'm wondering what you're seeing, like 1.5 million and up.
That market, I believe, is still pretty strong. So the luxury
Mm.
market hasn't taken the affordability factor
Yeah.
is where you see our market taking the biggest hits because of rates. Luxury buyers don't have to worry as much about interest rates. They're usually paying cash from California to Washington. Washington, I think, just passed or is getting ready to pass a new tax. So we're seeing a lot of our clientele come from Washington. So those buyers aren't in the same game as what's the rate going to be today, right? They're like, hey, we're not worried about the rates. So the luxury market, I believe, is still holding very, very solid right now in our market.
And I think what I got from the three of them is they're really I don't want to say students of the market, but they know the market.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask Damon how many homes are for sale, he knows. You should know that. Okay, it's at your fingertips every day. You should be in MLS every day, 10, 20, 30 minutes, searching whatever it is you want to search. Certain part of town.
The importance of that is not only educating the clients, but for the agents, right? If we're down in sales, year over year, you got to step it up. You got to get we call it your unfair share of the market.
Yeah.
Which means you got to get crystal clear on where you're going to generate business because it's not falling out of the trees as it once was.
Yeah, and and I'll let you guys go. Suzanne's going to pick the winner of the really cool bag that Rock Title gave us. Look at that. But quick example, I got a listing, a referral to me. Someone I've known my whole career. I've known her family, sold a bunch of homes, and me and Wendy do everything together. I talked to the girl on the phone. She thinks the house is worth 600,000. You pull it up, it's probably not worth 600,000, but it's really, really nice. So we go there and we used our knowledge. We showed CMAs and we listed it for 575. And a day we got an offer.
So it went on market.
Right.
Last Thursday at 10 p.m. On Friday, I had 6 showings. One of them came back twice. They gave us an offer 25,000 over. Sunday, 7 showings. Saturday, 7 showings. Sunday, we did open house. 17 people through the open house. 4 more offers.
Right.
So it's so if you price it right, if you set it up
Right.
to show
Right.
well, they're moving. But it's the ones that are just like, okay, we're not allowing them to tell us what the price is. We showed them what the price is because I'm not one to take over price listings. I'm just not going to do it. It's a waste of my time. I would love to get them that price, but it's expensive for us as realtors, and we don't get our money back, guys. If you don't sell that home, it's over, and now you're just expending money. So this is what I can do. This is where I think you're at. If not, then maybe I'm not the right realtor.
And it's funny, the offer we got was for 600,000, which is what the seller thought it was worth, right? And we listed for 575. And then the seller goes, well, Tim, if it doesn't appraise, they're going to pay the difference, right? That's another conversation we had to have with them because they were pretty savvy sellers. Well, we got 600, Tim. Even if it appraises for 580, they'll pay the 20 grand, right? I don't know. Probably not. And we talked about that at the listing appointment. So knowing that they would bring that up if it happened to get an offer for more than we had it listed for. So we send you guys stats, numbers. If you're not in MLS every day, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really, really are. Okay. And find out what your little niche is. Mine is Summerlin. I know how many homes every day are for sale in Summerlin. I know how many for sale in Summerlin, 1 stories under 600,000. I think there's 4, if you want to know. It's minimal, but delve into MLS. It's really, really important. All right, gang. You guys get something out of this? What do you think? Yeah, pretty good stuff. All right. Real quick, 10 seconds closing. Say something to impress everybody real quick for 10 seconds. I don't know.
Yes, oh my God.
Come on, you guys got it.
For us, it comes back to the basics as far as, not everybody's meant to be for a team. I will say that, Realty One Group, especially with Wendy, you guys are blessed. You guys have Wendy in this office. Not all of Realty One Group offices have a sales manager. And so I see she's really stepped up her game in the support of the agents, training, and all that good stuff. And so kudos to, the Summerlin office, Wendy and Tim. So, the team's not for everybody. If you're thinking about doing a team, obviously meet and see what fits you best. But for us, it really comes down to clarity. I love the word. It's being intentional and being clear on what your goals are, what you want to achieve. And with that, you can create the right roadmap with the right support to get there. Right? And that's what we focus on is you want clarity, you want to know what you want, what your goals are. Let's be intentional with our direction, right? With what we're doing every day, with our contacts every day. Dave said, making calls, networking, doing open houses, touching base, with your sphere of influence. You should have 3 to 5 things that you're focused on daily, depending on your goals, that will generate a stream of income for you. And if you put the systems in place for those, you'll find yourself enjoying real estate versus the painful part of, my God, where's the business at? I'm dying here, which is usually the 6-month conversation that Wendy, has with agents, right? I'm 6 months in and I'm not doing any business, or maybe I've closed one deal, but where's the next one at? We focus on pipeline, right? What appointments do you have? What kind of escrows do you have opened to generate the income that you want to make? Our goal really is that our agents are closing a minimum of 1 transaction a month, and then get them to 2, and then scale their business to where they have a complete business that they can operate from and live a good life.
Kaya, what do you got?
Well, like Damon said, not everybody wants to be in a team. A team is not for everybody, and definitely our team is not for everybody. We're small. We want to stay small on purpose. We don't believe that, we can service our agents well enough if we are too big. But at this moment, we're hiring 1 agent. We just hired 1 agent. My goal was 2 agents, and we got 1, and we're looking for 1 more agent. And be clear in what you want. And if you really want to be in a team, you need to talk to different people, see if it fits what you want, if it fits where you want to go. For us, is to help the agents really grow as people, as agents, but we all work together. We are in a collaborative team. We're not on an individual team. We're not totally individual. We are all together. Everything goes on the agent's name. However, we do work together. We help each other, and everybody brings something to our team that can not only benefit them, but benefit the team as a whole. So for us, it's not just us giving to the team members also give to us because everybody is unique. We're very diverse. We speak many, many languages. We have a little flyer there. It tells you who our agents are, what languages they speak, and we like it to be like that. We're very inclusive. Just again, this is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be in a team. Individual, but not alone. Individual, but not alone. Totally.
All right, Dave, take us home, big fella. Come on. Come on.
So I've seen that there's about 71% of brokers nationwide that haven't closed a deal this year.
Let that sink in, gang. Look around the room. Most of you supposedly haven't closed the deal, according to NAR. Crazy. Right? Have not. Oh, I've not.
And I've been, like when I started, I hired a mentor and she taught me everything not to do, which was awesome. Because I picked up on it, right? And actually, I started out at Berkshire also under Mr. Stark. And yeah, so I want to bring that up. Utilize your resources. If you're looking at teams, know really like what you want out of that team and take an inventory, just like you would in any other part of your business. And so if you want to talk a little bit more about team structure, I have a couple big opportunities that are coming up. I can't discuss right now, but I've worked on it for about 4 or 5 years. Just get your systems in place. If you don't have leads coming in and you don't have a pipeline that's built, you have a system problem, and you need to figure that out faster than you even realize, because you don't get paid. And that 30 days comes up, that 60 days comes up, that 90 days comes up. You start looking at LinkedIn for another job. That happens too. That's okay, right? You can do both. But I'm here for you guys regardless if you guys wanted to discuss teams or not. You have to utilize every single resource because they're all here. Like, these guys are amazing. These guys are amazing. I have people that I can call on from somewhere else at any other time. I don't know everything. I never will. But I know the people to get the job done, period. So find out what your system needs to be, and we'll help you build that out for you and just get your business really, really going. So come see me, talk to me. If you guys have any questions, I'm here as a resource and a team member. And if you guys need help and want to work full time, I'm happy to help lead you and guide you on that path and use every fail that I've ever had to help bring you guys up so you don't have to.
Yeah, good stuff. What do you guys think? Good stuff? What do you think? Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Guys, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it. Okay. Jen's going to do a class in about 5 or 8 or 12 minutes on the settlement statement. So maybe grab a butcher box, something, food, you know, good stuff. Really good stuff. I appreciate it. Yes. Yes. Oh, Suzanne, pick a number. Yes, yes. The winner is of this beautiful rock title something bag. And there's stuff in it too. Number 11 is the winner. Wow, look at this. Look at this baby. There's stuff in there. I'm not sure what's in there, but